The placards read homosexuality is a sin. Team no to homosexuality. Uganda against homosexuality. Fort Portal says no to homosexuality. Abatoro Tetulia Bisiaga, among others. Bishop Robert Muhirwa, the Bishop of Fort Portal Diocese, cautioned students to be contented with the little they have to avoid homosexuality.
So we have to say no to such evil money. At least we sleep hungry without feeding on evil money. So we have to be contented. So that we say no to those bad manners into our schools. When you engage in such morals, they will take away your education. And you keep on thinking immorality.
Bishop Reuben of Resort Diocese said the fight against homosexuality should also focus on the evil practices, including theft, corruption, murder, and among others.
Avoid premarital sex. Avoid early pregnancies. Early marriages. They can observe sexual purity. And avoidance of homosexuality is observing sexual purity of all forms.
In Fort Portal, all stakeholders, including leaders, parents, and clergy, have come together to fight homosexuality through conducting sensitization campaigns in schools and in public gatherings.
Join me, join the world, join the president, join parliament, join the first lady. We are at the forefront of fighting homosexuality in Uganda.
We totally disagree with homosexual and no room for it. So that's what I told the students and the teachers. So our dear brother, we are to say no to homosexuality.
In more news, a government has pledged to continue supporting universal education by ensuring each sub-county and parish has a secondary and primary school, as some still lack schools. A State Minister for Higher Education, Dr. John Chrysostom Muyingo, says that early childhood education is next in focus away from UPE and USE. Muyingo was speaking at Kololo Independence Grounds during a function to celebrate 25 years of universal education that started in 1997.
On behalf of all children in UPE schools in Uganda,
universal education is 25 years old. Celebrations have been characterized by drama presentations from various schools. Literacy rate in Uganda is at 75% due to universal primary education. Government pledges to continue supporting the program by ensuring its sub-county and parish has a primary and secondary school.
To ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and the promotion of lifelong learning opportunities for all Ugandans through universal primary education.
In a bid to ensure a strong education foundation, government is now designing a framework for early childhood education.
We also as government invest in early childhood education. That's what you call nursery, kindergarten. What we have started doing is to come up with a framework that is followed by all those who are handling our children at that level.
Senior Presidential Advisor on Political Affairs, Dr. Rwakana Rugunda, emphasizes the need to skill learners for job creation. Rugunda was representing the President at the celebrations.
This is the solution to the challenge of unemployment, especially among the young people. Government will continue to prioritize the teaching of science subjects and vocational skills.
Some of the UPE and USE schools have since dilapidated. Now, government wants to renovate the school structures as one way to easing access to quality education.
Government is committed to ensure that there are enough schools in the country for the Ugandans. We are also committed to revamp, rehabilitate, renovate all our old dilapidated schools wherever they are in the country. We have a plan for it, and we are moving with it, we are following that plan.
Marian Wumcha, UBC News.
The Parliamentary Committee on Statutory Authorities and State Enterprises has objected the government moved to pay city tycoon Bosco Muwonge Uganda shillings, that is 380 billion Uganda shillings over a 10-acre piece of land in Kisenyi to accommodate street vendors and hawkers loitering in the streets of Kampala. During a familiarization tour of different assets disposed of wrongly and queried in the Auditor General's report to Parliament of 2021-2022, the chairperson of COSASE, Joel Sanyonyi, appealed to KCCA to follow lawful procedures to halt negotiations that seek to have public land sold to an individual at the expense of the taxpayer.
A fortnight back, the Parliamentary Committee on Statutory Authorities and State Enterprises started probing KCCA on a number of queries reflected in the Auditor General's report for the financial year 2021-2022. Top among issues queried by the Auditor General was the management of land under KCCA. The Auditor General's report indicates that some of the land owned by KCCA had no titles. Plot 71 at Nkrumah Road, queried in the Auditor General's report as having been acquired fraudulently, was the first stopover of COSASE committee members during the familiarization tour that had KCCA officials on board. The Executive Director of Kampala Capital City Authority, Dorothy Chisaka, was also present to ascertain whether Securex Amenities Limited still lives to what was agreed on in 2010 upon granting it lease of the said property by Uganda Land Commission.
To the place that was supposed to be a health center, it's also very unfair. We waited for Ntaganda, he didn't appear in the committee. We are still waiting for him. We want to hear from him why he went away from the agreement.
The chairperson COSASE Joel revealed that Securex Amenities Limited was given a lease before it would be registered according to documents from Uganda Registration Services Bureau that formed the first illegality committed in the transaction. What is on ground is a business arcade with few parking slots, contradicting the lease agreement.
Now, the entire of it is a private facility. And yet in the lease agreement, however problematic the lease agreement was, they said, number one, 2 floors will be left for a health center for KCC. As you can see, the entire structure now is a private facility. And then the lease ceased to be. Of course, they also said they would provide adequate parking, lots of parking. As you have seen, there's just 17 parking slots.
The Executive Director, KCCA Dorothy Chisaka, pledged to undertake full responsibility to reach the logical conclusion on how the queried land transaction was made, but sought for committee support in the undertaking.
We must uncover the rot which is there and put the city in order. We cannot condone a fraud. We cannot condone something which is not right.
The next destination for the probing team was in Kisenyi, where KCCA had allocated a 10-acre piece of land to vendors and hawkers who had become a menace in the streets of Kampala. The market is already occupied with vendors dealing in different commodities ranging from food, vegetables and clothes. However, the committee was shocked to learn that city tycoon John Bosco Muwonge is demanding for Uganda shillings 380 billion from government to offer the land to KCCA.
380 billion shillings. We can use part of it to buy this property for the vendors and use another part of that money to build a good market for them. Because right now, you see their market structures, tarpaulin and all of that. When it rains, they cannot operate properly here.
It's okay for the traders to have space to do their work, but it is not okay to buy this space very expensively.
Despite the bloated sum of money put by city tycoon for any willing buyer, Chisaka says negotiations to reach a final deal are underway.
Is the seller willing? Yes. Is the price agreeable? Not yet. So that's where we are. The issue is that the trading space must be got and we settle our vendors. So there is no debate about that. We are agreed with the parliamentarians. With regard to value, government has processes of determining value, and government wants value for money. So we cannot buy something which is exorbitantly priced.
While the land deal seems to be lucrative, a document spelling out contestation about the ownership of this piece of land by John Bosco Mwonge was adduced. The mayor, Kampala Central Division Salimu Uhuru, was not in agreement with the adduced document, saying the Buganda Land Board has not expressed any reservations about the said land.
Have you seen Buganda complaining? Because the mother title is under Buganda. Buganda is not complaining, so who else is complaining?
In another development, construction works along the Rubiji water channel have stalled due to land contestations following alleged claims of ownership by 27 people demanding for compensation.
Challenge with some of the people who are making claims. And when a person makes claim on a place that you are working on, you have to first settle that claim before you finish the construction.
Which should be one of the major catchment areas. Work has stalled for quite a bit of time, as they have explained to us. And so we are telling them, engage as quickly as you can with whoever, communities and all of that. You know, it should not be an impossibility.
The team also toured Mulago Cancer Institute Road to understand why the cost of a road is too high. This project of 1.78 kilometers of road cost 8.5 billion shillings. I'm Nafka Farida and Stephen Kalisia in Kampala.
The landlords of Kabaramaido Town Council may risk losing their property following the agreement signed by the local leaders and the resident state attorney. In the agreement, the landlords have been given an ultimatum of 1 year to first lift the dilapidated structures, and failure to comply, their buildings will be reverted for government disposal.
Kabaramaido Town Council, which was once a booming town in Teso sub-region, has been reduced to a ghost town following the economic vacuum that was left by the colonial masters.
The Lira you see was supposed to be here where we are, but because of the mosquito that was down in Bululu, near, in fact at the Lake Yoga side, forced the whites who were there planning to put Lira district here and decided to take it there.
Local leaders have now formed a joint effort to push for the municipality status, a move aimed at reclaiming its former glory.
It is also going to make our voices reach the floor of parliament very well, basing on the number of members of parliament. It is also going to rise up this place, since the government is now giving us a ferry connecting us to the other side of Busoga.
This has come at the time when the landlords have been issued with the directives to facelift the dilapidated structures that have outlived their lifespan.
Of recent, we had a meeting with custodian board on these very structures that you see in town, and we have tasked the owners of these structures through the state attorney, the resident state attorney of this place, to see that we facelift the structures which are in town.
Failure to comply with the new directives, the owners of the dilapidated buildings may lose their property.
As you have seen them, those structures, their lease offer has expired. So automatically, those buildings, they will be reverted back to government. Then the government will now see either to dispose them as structures or to demolish them and sell them as plots.
Joseph Foucault, UBC.
More local stories. Constitutional Court has declared Section 5 and 10 of the Public Order Management Act 2013 as null and void. The decision by the 5 justices of the Constitutional Court, the sections contravene Article 29(1)(d) of the Constitution, which gives a right to freedom of assembly and demonstration.
The petition was filed by NOP leader Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, David Lule, Freddie Nyanzi, Katongole Julius, and Sebufu Edward. The 5 were challenging the proceedings of the offences of disobeying statutory duty against them in the Buganda Road Magistrates Court when they were arrested for holding a political rally. Following the introduction of the new social media tax OTT of 200 shillings daily and the mobile money tax by government. In the petition, the petitioners informed court that Section 510 of the Public Order Management Act 2013, under which they were charged, was contravening Article 29(1)(d) of the Constitution. Article 29(1)(d) of the Constitution provides for freedom of assembly and to the demonstration peacefully and unarmed. With this, they asked court to declare Section 510 as null and void. The prayers were objected to by the Attorney General's office, saying freedom of assembly and demonstration is not absolute. In the decision of 5 justices of Constitutional Court, led by Justice Frederick Egona Ntende, court was pleased with the petitioner's prayers, thus declaring Section 510 of the Public Order Management Act of 2013 as null and void.
And therefore null and void. I would declare that the charges against the accused persons that were based on their participation in a peaceful, albeit unauthorized public meeting constituted an impermissible limitation on their right to freedom of assembly and contravene Article 29(1).
Following the decision, court stated the charges against the petitioners in the lower court.
I would make an order permanently staying the criminal proceedings against the accused persons via Buganda Road Chief Magistrates Court criminal case number 0676 of 2018. C. I would direct the registrar of this court to notify the Buganda Road Chief Magistrates Court.
Section 510 of the Public Order Management Act of 2013 was compelling the organizer of any event or assembly to notify police in writing at least 3 days before the event, the number of participants on the event, the time frame the event will take, the place, and the purpose of the event. Other justices in this matter include Elizabeth Musoke, Christopher Madrama, Monica Mojenyi, and Justice Christopher Gashirabake. Deborah Namamonde, UBC News.
Well, with Deborah Namamonde's story, we settle for a short break. When I return, more as far as business is concerned.
Jerry Con! Jerry Con! Hey, Master Blaster! Touch him, man! Buy Jerry Con with muscle! Those ones who say go for you only. Mundawa! Best movies I teach you. When I go to the Muscari, because of the cover that is very far. Is you serious? It's serious, you. What? Yeah? You step it on it. Add kilometers to your legs. And you get your sugar. We buy meat from Umaru. And Umaru refuses to give you enough meat. Mama! Show him that they don't joke with you. Umaru, Jerry car.
Okukakaluka n'okulungi kwetaagako omuntu akuyambako, n'olwekyo tujja kukuteerawo embeera esaanidde osobole okukola ekisinga awamu teri kitulema. This isn't just a girl. She is the future. This is a teacher, a doctor, a community leader, our future president.
She is our family's pride, and as her father, I will protect her from child marriage and talk to her about the dangers of teenage pregnancy. We each have a role to play in empowering our teenage girls to protect them from child marriage and pregnancy, because when we empower them, we empower our nation. Protect the girl, save the nation.
Take action. Report any case of defilement or child marriage to the police or call Sawuti 116.
Get the
most affordable 4G smartphone in Uganda from Airtel. Now heavily discounted from 250,000 shillings to 150,000 shillings only. Yes, 150,000 shillings only to keep you connected to your loved ones.
Dial *175*94# to activate free 1GB instantly and 100% double data on all weekly and monthly bundles for 3 months. Get one today while stock lasts from the nearest Airtel shop. With Airtel, the smartphone network.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We're descending into Entebbe Airport. For those proceeding to Kampala City, the biggest event in East Africa is in town.
That's right, the East African Business Expo 2023 is happening from the 23rd to the 26th of March at Kololo Grounds. Join us to network, connect, and grow. Contact us for exhibition or sponsorship opportunities. The 14th East African Procurement Forum and Business Expo 2023 is hosted by PPDA.
Now sit back and relax. It's time to explore great business opportunities.
Hey! 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 Oh!
Paying your bills the old way.
Let's go, let's go. Just need to buy some power.
Paying your bills with the My Airtel app.
Bro, there's a line.
You have the power in your pocket. The power to instantly pay your bills hassle-free. Unlock that power with the My Airtel app. Visit the App Store or Google Play now.
Oh, you're back.
Welcome back. Good to know that you're still watching and following. Now getting into our business this Saturday, Julian Adieri is a social entrepreneur who has set up a juice factory, a fruit farm and a training institute to train upcoming women and youth farmers mainly in Nwoya district. Adieri, who began her life as a shop attendant after completing her senior 6, has grown into a big-time multi-billion entrepreneur with 6,000-acre fruit, cereal farm and an eucalyptus plantation in Nwoya district.
This is after women have accessed capital, have bought land, and have increasingly become enterprising. One such woman is Juliana Adieri, who ventured into juice processing way back in 1996.
I used to boil water in a kettle and I would process the cheers juice and I would use a funnel to pack in a bottle. That's where I started from. So many years I've been uplifting myself as a woman so that I can be there, and I thank the Almighty God. The journey is too long, but since 1996 my dream was to make fresh juice from locally grown fresh fruits grown by the women at the grass.
Innovator and entrepreneur, Adieri always wants to improve her product, a reason she is now improving her cheers juice.
You people, you have made my life so easier. When I go to the bank, I'm served by the bank managers because they grow up drinking cheers juice. Whoever comes to my office, those were my customers. I'm saying thank you.
At her fruit farm in Nwoya district, Delight Farm Uganda Limited, Adieri has established a training institute for mentoring farmers and is providing an agro-tourism space for those that might want to learn more about fruit farming and tree planting.
All those women who want to chase away poverty, they come. We have the capacity of 600 people at a go. And our training always in the what? In the garden. I want to train women, the informal sector, to be bankable, taxable, and also to chase away poverty.
Adieri supports over 3,000 women and youth with fruit farming skills, and in all, she employs hundreds of people particularly women and youth.
I have managed to work with 11,800 outgrowers in Noya district, those who have planted fruits as my outgrowers. Now, one step we are going to make, when we make a factory, I'll be giving them money, I buy the fruits, I make the juice, we are there as women.
Adjeri believes
Well, that's all we had time for this particular newscast. More updates will be coming your way later on in our timely news hours of the day. Thank you so much for making time to join us. My name is Sandra Kahunda, and of course, salute to the team behind the scene for making this newscast come your way.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.